welcome to today's live Q&A. Sam is with me, and I'm Lindsey Bomgren, Get Healthy UTV trainer, and Sam's a trainer as well.
Yep.
And we are here to chat with you guys in a total live Q&A session, open for you to ask any questions you want to ask us. We do have an overarching theme of meal prep and meal planning, but we're really open to any questions you want to ask. I know we have some questions that were already submitted, and if you're watching us on Facebook, you can drop questions in the Facebook comments below this video. And if you're watching us via Get Healthy UTV, via the website, there is a chat box where you can drop questions as well. So those are how you're going to submit your questions. And that's how we're going to work this Q&A.
Yep.
And I can't believe we are closing out the month of August.
I know.
And heading into September. It's crazy. I want summer to stay forever. But you guys, fun things to look forward to, because with new seasons comes new exciting things for you guys, including a 28-day routine reboot challenge that we are launching. It's going to start September 3rd. You can really start it whenever it works for you, but it's a 28-day calendar that includes workouts that you're seeing on the screen right now. They're free 10-minute workouts available to everybody, whether you're a Get Healthy UTV member or not. They're free 10-minute workouts. They go from strength training, like you'll see here, a little bit of bar, Pilates, which you'll see. Leah also has some great stretching and recovery. We have Kate here that has some mat Pilates. So you're going to get a mix of strength training, Pilates, bar, kind of like what you see on the Get Healthy UTV website. Everything from your high impact, go get it, to your low impact core and strength training. So really a total body reset, kind of in the form of a 28-day reboot, because it's fall. We got to fall back into some routines.
Yep.
And so also included, it's not just workouts, there's tips and tricks.
Yep.
And so us trainers submitted, we answered a bunch of questions, what our favorite meals are, what our go-to snacks are, pre-workout, post-workout, and you're going to get those. They're all going to land in your inbox. So how you subscribe to this challenge is, if you're watching us on Facebook, you're going to find it in the comment or in the copy associated with this video.
Yep.
So it's in the description. Click the link. You're going to drop your email in there, and you're going to get an email kickback that's going to give you the 28-day calendar. And then throughout the 28 days, you're going to get emails that encourage you and give you some of our pro tips and tricks. And if you're watching via Get Healthy UTV, simply scroll down to the bottom. There's a banner. Click there. You can drop your email in, and that's how you join the routine reboot.
Yep. So we're excited. It'll be all the fun trainers, all those tips and tricks. It was kind of fun filling those out. So.
Yes, it's always fun. We love sharing our little nuggets. It's funny because everyone has a different approach, so you're getting everyone's different approach too. So there's no one size fits all.
Correct. That is correct. All right. Should we hop right into it?
Let's do it. Q&A time.
All right.
Let's see what you guys are curious about.
All right, so we have a big fan of yours, Lindsey. She said she's obsessed with your gold workouts.
Yay!
She has a really good rotation with heavy weights, so about 15-pound weights.
Nice.
And then she also does some lighter weight workouts, including body weight and bar. She goes, she's wondering if she's missing out on other good workouts on Get Healthy U, or as long as she's doing workouts that she enjoys, can she just stick with those, like bouncing back between those?
I think that's one of the questions we get asked a lot, and that's why we do create the calendars that you guys can follow on Get Healthy UTV. So there's calendars that are like already created. You can simply pop on, see the whole layout for you. I'm more one of those people who kind of likes to pick and choose, because I mix it in with attending live group fitness classes as well as following some of the online stuff. But really, I think, like, people always ask, what's the best workout I can do on Get Healthy UTV? And I'm like, one you're actually going to do. So if you like yoga, follow the yoga calendar and do those. If you're more like me and you're more strength training and HIIT, and that's what's going to get you out of bed and actually do a workout, then that's what you should do. So yes, the best workout program is one you're actually going to do. So if you love the heavy weights and the strength training and the HIIT, that's awesome. Keep doing that. But it's really easy to overtrain in that way and get in that mindset of every day has to be 500 calories and every day has to be crushing. And that's not good for our bodies either. So that's what I love about Get Healthy UTV, is it offers the really high intense workouts, which I like to strive for about 3 days a week. It's a little different now that I'm pregnant, but the more of the HIIT and strength, which I go for 3 days a week. And then there's opportunity to break down specific muscle groups. You can focus just on upper body or just on lower body and alternate those, or add in it's always good to challenge yourself and try something new. Even if you just do it once, it's like one day, who cares? There's so many workouts to choose from. But I'll throw on like one of Kate's mat Pilates. I mean, I'm not like a slow and steady Pilates girl, but after I'm like, oh, that was good. I could, like my body needed that. So if you're feeling tired after a workout, you definitely need to add those rest and recovery days too. But let me tell you, those walk and tone programs, we film those, and like they're actually no joke, okay? I was sore the next day from walk and tone, and normally I'd be like, no way am I doing walk and tone. But let me tell you, post-baby, I'm planning to start with walk and tone.
Walk and tone, there you go.
So a lot of workouts to choose. Do whatever you're actually going to do, right?
Yeah, it's always kind of, I mean, and to throw in random ones too. I always find like, I'm kind of like you, with the cardio and the strength, but it's really good to just kind of slow it down a little bit sometimes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, we have a member saying that she starts the day strong and motivated, but then her energy dips throughout the afternoon. Do you have any tips for this?
Well, I would say you should start with your workout in the morning, or the things that, right? I think we all kind of, I mean, I'm a morning person too, so that's how I start my day.
Yep.
So I always like to hack out like my big top priorities in the morning, because I'm an early riser. My day starts at like 5, but my day ends at like 3, and then I'm home with my son. And so I try to really crank out what I need to get done in the morning. Sounds like you're on that same boat. So I would say get that movement in as far as like you're at your workout. If you're going to do a 30-minute workout at home, do that in the morning. Start cranking out, your top priorities for the day, and then as you find that energy dipping, great things to do. We're really blessed if you have nice weather. Get outside, go for a quick power walk. It doesn't have to be. I think we get in our heads like it's always got to be an hour. It's always got to be. Literally like a 10-minute walk around the block is a quick way to boost your energy. That movement, get out of your seat, get some fresh air.
Yep.
Get a good snack. Think about what's going to fuel you. In the afternoon, we start to think like, oh, maybe I should get another cup of coffee, or oh, maybe I should reach for that bag of chocolate chips, and it's like, okay, is that really going to make me feel better? I like to think of like my feelings on a plate. So that movement, a quick good snack, a good crisp cold apple, a good walk around the block, all those things are good energy boosters, I think, to really lift you up.
Yeah, I've been doing that recently, the walk around the block. Like, I get in the mindset, I have to do 30 minutes, but like just getting up and moving and then coming back and even sitting down and working again, you feel refreshed after even that 10 minutes.
It's crazy. Like the studies show every 50 minutes. So for 50 minutes, you should move 10. So it's like work for 50 minutes and then move for 10. I don't adhere to that in any way, shape, or form. Because once I get locked in at my computer, because I'm like, but they say that's like the way to maximize productivity. I don't know.
That's probably why if you have an Apple Watch, it like dings at you at the 50-minute mark. I'm like, oh, gotta get up.
It's like, get up and go pee or move.
Good. Okay. So we have somebody asking, a little bit more on the nutrition side. What are your thoughts on 16/8 intermittent fasting? Good or bad for women?
Yeah, so to probably explain that a little bit further, intermittent fasting, and what they say, the 16 to 8.
16 to 8, yep.
So they're talking about 16 hours intermittent fasting. That means 16 hours of consuming no food. So say I go to bed at 9 o'clock at night. My last meal was maybe at 6 p.m. After 6 p.m. I didn't eat anything. So I'm not good at math, but 16 hours later probably puts me, I don't know, but you can ask me to do math on the spot. So say I would eat, it would maybe mean you eat a delayed breakfast even. So your next meal would be 16 hours later. I'm not even going to try to do the math.
It's fine.
Sam, whip up the math for me. Math is not my strong suit. Okay, you guys. But so you wouldn't eat for 16 hours, and then you have an 8-hour window where you would consume your meals. So for between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., you consume your food, right? So that's kind of what they're talking about with that ratio. I did do intermittent fasting when I was training for fitness competitions. Do you do intermittent fasting, Sam?
I've done it a few times.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely results and studies behind it.
Absolutely.
There are a lot of results. Do we have posts on Get Healthy U about intermittent fasting?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so there's posts on Get Healthy UTV about intermittent fasting that will break it down for you too and explain a little bit more of what it is, some of the different time blocking ratios.
Yep.
I personally don't adhere to it, especially, I'm pregnant, but I personally don't, because I kind of have followed the, eat when I'm hungry. If I have to stop eating at 5 p.m., if that's my last meal, it doesn't work with my lifestyle right now. I have kids. It doesn't work, and I just go by the eat when I'm hungry, and I try to make good choices, obviously, especially later in the day at nighttime. So, but there are results to it, and I think if you are one of those people who needs to mix it up, or you want to try something new, I mean, there's opportunity to try it. It's just, think about your lifestyle. Is it something you could actually adhere to on the weekends, and and is it something you want to adhere to?
Yeah, and I would definitely say, when I've done it, you really have to make sure it's within the blocking, that does work for your schedule. Or I've done it, kind of recently and not doing it anymore, but I still try and stop eating at a certain point, whether, if I'm coaching super late at night, I normally have to eat dinner after that. I try not to eat past, say 8 or 9, but if it happens,
Right. I think, so I like with anything, I think it's good to have certain things that are like the Whole30, or there's certain things out there that I really think are a great way to jumpstart and give you that self-discipline if you need structure. Yes. I'm kind of one of those people, I have pretty good self-discipline with my meals and my meal planning and things like that, but it did take a while to get there. And so like I use things like Whole30, like intermittent fasting to get to where I am and learn what works best for my body. Yep. But it's also one of those things where I don't like that restrictive, fundamentals that kind of come with it. And it's like just the 80-20 rule, man. If you can just eat real food 80% of the time and, try and stay away from that standard stuff. And that's where meal prep really comes in. And
meal prepping is huge.
And if you're going to do intermittent fasting, meal prepping is huge as well, too, because you're not often at home for breakfast. You usually are eating breakfast at work because you're eating it later. Yeah. And I'm one of those people where I get up and I'm starving, which is a good sign. That means my body was like appropriately, right? So I get up and I'm hungry. That's a good thing.
Yeah. And if you need nutrition or meal prepping, Lindsey's always like go-to on that one. So she does. I always watch your stories on Sunday nights, seeing what you're doing.
Saving grace, literally.
Speaking of meal prepping, Lindsey, they're asking you what you usually eat for breakfast. This is the hardest meal of the day for her to fit in, but she wants to be better about making it a healthy and nourishing way to start the day.
Yes. So I've kind of been playing with my own breakfast routine, actually, because pregnancy brings weird things out in me. In my first trimester and now my third trimester, I just get a little bit more touch and go. Otherwise, I'm pretty standard. I eat the same thing for breakfast. So it's usually I bake eggs. Literally take eggs, break them, put them into a muffin pan, silicone if you have one, so then there's no sticking. And I bake them. You bake them at 350 for 30 minutes. I do actually more like 26 minutes, then you don't get so overbaked and so hard. And I put those over avocado toast. Like they're like hard-boiled eggs, but you don't have to peel them. Slice them over avocado toast. That's pretty much my grab-and-go breakfast every morning. I get a little bit weird with pregnancy, and it doesn't sit as well with me, so I'm kind of toying around, and I'm having different things. And so if you're one of those people that likes variety, now some of my go-to staples are overnight oats. Overnight oats are so great and so easy.
So good.
A mason jar.
I just put them back in because I think I overdid it at a certain point.
Yes.
Put them back in, and I'm like obsessed with them right now.
Yes. So I'm currently on that train too, and they're great because we travel a lot. So like you come home and you don't have any fresh produce or anything, so it's a great way because I use frozen fruit in them. Yeah. So overnight oats, it's literally oats in a mason jar, and then I've been using frozen fruit because it's more budget friendly and we always have it in the freezer. Yep. And you can throw some chia seeds in there, and then I typically just add like my almond milk or your milk of choice, let it soak overnight. I'll get up in the morning, and then in the morning I'll add either a protein powder or nut butter or something to give it a little bit more substance.
Yep.
So I've actually been making those ahead for maternity leave. So literally what I do is I take the oats, put them in a mason jar with the chia seeds and the frozen fruit and a splash of like vanilla extract, and put them in mason jars, and I've just been throwing them in my freezer. So all I literally have to do is pull it out of the freezer, add milk, let it sit overnight, and then in the morning I can add protein, collagen, or nut butter. So that's a super awesome option to have on hand, and it's really kid-friendly too. So Brody loves my overnight oats. Yes, good. So kid-friendly, overnight oats, baked egg cups, and another thing I've actually recently been doing is I just made like a sheet pan of egg bake. Took a mason jar lid, punched out circles, and took sprouted grain English muffins. So I made like a spinach, feta, sun-dried tomato kind of like egg bake, punched out the circles, put it in a sprouted grain English muffin, wrap it in aluminum foil, and stick them in the freezer, like a bunch of them. And then I pull it out, and so I get the best of both worlds, because in the morning I eat half an English muffin with my lovely egg and veggies on it, and then I take the other half, pop it in the toaster, and have peanut butter on it. So I get like the best of both worlds.
Absolutely.
So those are a couple great options.
Those are some good options. A lot of people, Lindsey, are commenting how glowing you are, so just had to throw that out there.
You guys are so kind. I was literally just looking in the car and I was like, what is all these pimples are coming in at the end? Like my hormones are changing, I'm getting pimples. It's supposed to be glowing, so thank you.
Lindsey, they love your bar workouts. Which one would you say on Get Healthy UTV is like the biggest calorie burner?
For bar, the biggest calorie burner for bar
workouts.
Ooh, well, can I talk about the new?
I think you can.
Okay, so we have a new program that just launched, you guys, Bar Strong. It's on Get Healthy UTV. It's Bar Strong, and they're 4 workout videos. They range from like 25 to 35 minutes in length, and there's a total body sculpt and shred, which is going to be the max calorie burner.
Yep.
And then there's a body weight. So if you don't have lighter dumbbells and you want to try bar, body weight, there's a body weight hit, which is another big calorie shredder. And then there's specific ones that focus on bar arms and abs and bar legs. But the total body ones are usually always going to be your biggest calorie burners. But we also have another the older bar sculpt program on Get Healthy UTV. And again, there's a total body one in there that's a really good calorie burner. They all have, my style of bar is a little bit more upbeat than what you might find in like a typical bar studio. So I love throwing in some like little, calorie burners and some little hit circuits to get your heart rate up too. So they're all really good, but check out the new Bar Strong program, Total Body Sculpt and Shred.
All right, so going along with you being pregnant right now, how do you set fitness goals while being pregnant? She must be pregnant as well, and she says she feels like she needs to pause them right now. How do you kind of weigh like your fitness goals while being pregnant?
Yeah, that's a great question, because right now I'm not in like build phase, or I'm not really trying to push my weights. My weights are actually slowly dropping, but I'm really in maintenance mode, and so my goal is really maintenance. I don't, like, seriously, when people told me this last time, like, oh, labor and delivery, it's like the hardest workout of your life. It literally was the hardest thing I'd ever done. It was like 36 hours. It was like 12 hours of hard labor, but literally having my son was like the hardest work. Like, I was so gassed at the end. I was like, I don't know if you're not physically fit how you do this. And I literally was thinking that we went to California with my family, and I'm pulling my son in a stroller in the sand, and I'm like, how do you do this if you're not physically fit? Or how do I put him in a car seat at 35 weeks pregnant if I'm not? So, I mean, there's just so many benefits, right, to keeping up with what you can do. And so it's just trying to maintain. And so my fitness goals have, you got to change your mindset a little bit and totally flipped into maintenance mode. But really my goal right now is maintaining my strength so I don't completely lose it, because I am going to take at least a solid month to 6 weeks off. And so just maintenance mode, which means usually higher reps, lower weights, but still trying to push my weights if I can and stay with where I was, not trying to go above, but yeah, so maintenance mode.
We have someone that says she's kind of in a rut lately with her workouts. Not that she's not doing them, but she tends to do the same thing over and over again. Is that going to cause her to plateau? How often is it important to switch up what you're doing?
Yeah. I mean, I think whenever you feel like you're in a rut, switch it up, right?
Yeah.
Like whenever I feel like, man, it could be with HIIT or anything. You got to switch it up, and it's good. And it's good to try new workouts, and that's what Get Healthy UTV is really good at.
Yes.
Because there's so many workouts to try. And I'll be the first to admit that, like, I gravitate towards, like the strength and HIIT, but then, and the bar. I like my bar work. I like bar workouts too. But like I recently did a stability, like an older stability ball strength workout that Chris filmed, I think, a while back.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was really good. Fun new moves I hadn't done in a while. Like, it feels good to do new things.
And you almost feel a little bit more like sore in a good way the next day, because you haven't used those same muscle groups that you typically are overusing, maybe, if you're doing the same thing over and over.
Yes. So yes, get on Get Healthy UTV and try a new calendar or a new program that you wouldn't normally try. It's always good to mix it up.
Yeah, I will say so for some of you who know, Chris was in Croatia for the past 10 days. And so she was gone, and I didn't have her live classes to go to. And it was a blessing in disguise. Obviously, we all missed her, but it was good to just kind of go out and do a bar class this morning, something different. So that kind of forced me, with her being gone, to try something new.
Right. So. It's always good to try new things.
Going back to our nutrition kind of aspect of it, do you use protein powders or pre-workout supplements? If so, what kinds?
Yes, I do use protein. I really so I use protein, and then I use collagen peptides. They're different types of proteins. But I'll use a protein powder specifically after a workout if it's a really strength training heavy or a good solid workout. I love having a smoothie if that's like of access to me with a protein powder in it, because drinking protein powder like mixed with water is not my favorite thing.
No,
not my favorite thing. It has to be like a milk, and it has to have ice cubes in it at least if I'm just going to drink straight protein powder. But yes, I will use I personally prefer Plant protein, I will say, so whey protein is the best form for muscle recovery. It just works the best, but I personally prefer plant protein. I've gotten used to the chalky flavor that plant proteins often have, and you have to get used to it if you're gonna have them.
You do.
But it just sits better with my stomach. I get less bloated, less gassy than I do with whey protein.
I'm the same way. And I just discovered that not too long ago, and it has made the world of a difference. So if whey protein, like maybe try the plant-based because it seriously makes a difference.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd say try both and kind of see what sits better with you. It is a great way to recover. It's a quick, easy way to recover and get that protein in your body. I mean, 20 grams of protein is all that your body can metabolize and process. So if you're like looking, like, oh, I need one with 40, like 20 grams of protein is all your body can process and metabolize in one serving. So literally something good, 20 grams of protein after a good solid workout. And then I love adding collagen peptides, and that's just a different type of protein. It's the foundation of your hair, skin, nails, ligaments. So really great for proteins in a different way. And I like adding that either to my coffee or I'll throw it in with my smoothies too.
Do you ever mix the two together? Or
yes.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, so I'll throw them right in together so you kind of get the most bang for your buck with both of them.
Because they are different.
Yeah, they're different proteins. So yeah, that's a good. I'm not really a pre-workout person. I mean, my husband puts like a little tiny in his, but I'm not much. I mean,
she's
coffee.
pretty like outgoing as is. So
yeah, right.
I think you're good.
They say beet juice is like, if you're looking for a really natural pre-workout, beets are like a natural blood vasodilator, so it'll get that blood pumping and blood flowing. Just don't spill it on your clothes because it'll stain.
It'll stain. Best meal prep tips when you get off the wagon. Where do you kind of start?
Yes. The best thing is literally, like pen to paper. Get a notepad. I have my little 3M notepad, and I know there's like all these great meal planning resources out there. I literally use the sticky pad, and I just write down Monday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I write down every day, and then I look at my calendar and mine and my husband's schedules, and is he going to be home for dinner? Is he training or practicing? Am I going to be home for dinner? Do I have a work event? I look at our schedules, and I decide from there when we're going to have bigger meals and when I'm going to have leftovers to supplement the nights where we're kind of on the go or what our plan is. Having a plan, literally have a plan. Have a plan, and then use that plan to grocery shop off of. And if you need one, I know Get Healthy U has so many resources about meal planning. There's like how to Trader Joe's. There's one on there for Trader Joe's, which is where I grocery shop. So
Costco, Target. There's a ton of different
ones. And they come with like, here are the top items, here are the grocery list. But it's like, create the meal plan. I like doing it even on Friday, so then I know, and then I do my grocery shopping on Saturday or Sunday. Get the grocery shopping that adheres to the meal plan, start the meal prep. You got it.
So I have to ask, do you do your meal prep alone? Does your husband help you? Do you have a little assistant with you?
Right. So I ask for my husband's input. I say, is there anything you'd like to have for dinner this week? I usually ask for his input, and he usually picks like the spiralized, he loves spiralized sweet potato spaghetti, and I'm like, well, then you're going to spiralize the sweet potatoes. So if it is something that he requests like that, I'm like, and you're spiralizing, and he'll do it. He's great at that. So he'll help out with certain things. So yeah. I'll ask him what he wants, but mostly I just write the meal plan. I'm kind of the kitchen wizard in the house. So I write the meal plan, and then I'll start. And I usually like to do if we're going to be home, but it's different in summer. In summer, we're not home on Sundays typically. We're coming from the lake or coming from wherever. So Sundays are not as meal prep intensive in the summer, but in the fall and winter, they become more meal prep intensive. So I bust out the crock pot, double batch it, do a lot more meal prep on Sundays.
Crock pot is great, especially when it gets colder.
Yes.
Speaking of like traveling, traveling is going to be a little less for some people right now, but how do you eat healthy when socializing and eating out on the weekends? Good food choices, how do you kind of make those choices when you're maybe eating out?
Yes, I think that's a great question. I'm like a planner and a control freak kind of, so I usually like to find out like, where are we going for dinner? And I'll like look at the menu online.
Me too.
The menus are all online now, so I look at the menu online and I kind of make up my mind in my head before I even go what I'm gonna have, because chances are when I get there, my friend's gonna order truffle fries and this friend's gonna order, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, well, that sounds good and that sounds good. But if I already have in my mind, like, and I've kind of set my mind on it during the day, like, nope, I'm getting that salmon quinoa salad, like that just sounds really good, and I make up my mind before I go. So that's one way to do it.
Yep.
Another way is I love sharing meals with friends too. So I'm like, okay, I do this a lot. Like I'm like, ooh, you want a cheeseburger and we want the salad salmon. Like we kind of want the same thing, but how do we? So half it.
Half and half.
You order a cheeseburger. I'm gonna order the salmon salad. We're gonna get half. So then you get the best of both worlds. I got my veggies in the form of my salmon salad.
Yep.
I got my cheeseburger, which I wanted, and it was an out to eat thing. So yeah,
That's a good option.
love having.
Your sweet potatoes that you were just talking about, people are asking, how do you cook the sweet potatoes once they're spiralized?
Yes. Okay. So you spiralize the sweet potatoes, right? And you always do a little bit more than you think, because when you do cook them, they shrink down.
They really do.
They shrink down, especially zucchini. Zucchini will really shrink down on you. But sweet potatoes, spiralize them, throw them on a sheet pan, and we just roast them in the oven at 400 degrees for around like 30 minutes. I like them nice and crispy. I like them a little bit more crispy. And you pull them out, and then they're spiralized sweet potatoes, and so I use it as like a base. And so we actually do it a lot in the summer when we're grilling, just like the spiralized sweet potatoes are a side to our kebabs or to whatever. But if you want to make spaghetti with it, I simply use the spiralized sweet potatoes once they're roasted. Throw some oil on there too, so a little avocado oil. It's got a higher, or you could do olive oil, but avocado oil has a higher temp rate for cooking. And throw it, that's the base, so that's like your noodles. And then I personally love to do like veggie loaded, because I love having veggies in my meals. So I'll take like a bag of frozen spinach from the freezer, super budget friendly, always have it on hand. And I'll throw that right into my marinara sauce. So I'll add some frozen spinach to my marinara sauce that I'll heat up on the stove. Sometimes I'll even chop up some peppers and throw that in there too. So just throw in a couple veggies, and boom, you have veggie-loaded spaghetti. And then, of course, you can have your meat, whether you want to do ground turkey or ground beef or whatever you want to do, too.
Awesome. We have a question about working out in the morning. Is it bad to work out in the morning without having breakfast? Kind of bogs her down in the morning to eat and then go to the gym, but is that considered bad for you?
It's really everyone's personal preference on this, and everyone's stomachs, it's a little bit different. So if it just doesn't work for you to have something before, then that's okay. I think it is a fine line of like figuring that out. Like it doesn't work for me to eat my overnight oats and then go directly to the gym. It doesn't sit well with me either. But I know that typically if I'm teaching an early morning class, I do like to have something in my system. So a hard-boiled egg or those baked eggs, just like one, even if I just get one in me or two, or like half a banana and a hard-boiled egg, it is good to have something, specifically if you can get a protein in your body, so your body doesn't go right into burning its muscle. It burns the fat stores over the muscle stores. Or it's always good to have a little bit of like half a banana or something gives you a little bit of that glucose, a little quick sugar to give you some energy during your workout too. So it is good to try having something in your stomach, I think, especially if you can get a little protein in there. I know Chris really likes to do, even like she has her electrolytes that she'll drink too if it's really early in the morning.
Yep.
If you're doing really early and you're like, sometimes I'm literally like rolling out of bed and going straight to the basement to flip on a workout. And then I'll just maybe sip on some electrolytes or I won't have anything, but then like right away afterwards I will. And so it's okay sometimes, but if you're going into like a heavy strength workout at the gym, or if you're going to do something like that, you'll feel depleted pretty quick if you don't have something in your system.
Yeah, I would, just definitely play around with what works best for you. Like when I was really into the yoga sculpt workouts, there's weights and stuff, and I had half a banana, and I swear I was about to puke halfway through, and so ever since I haven't been able to.
Yeah.
But you really just, Chris does her electrolytes, and I think half a banana most days.
Yeah.
But same like you, I'm rolling out of bed, so chances are I'm not going to have a ton in my system, but it kind of depends on the day and what works.
Depends on the day and the time of workout, but that's why I love those baked egg cups. They're just so simple. It's literally like, because the egg usually sits really well with me when I'm pregnant. It's a little touch and go. But literally like one hard-boiled egg, just to get something in your system.
Yep. So then, do you do a lot of running? And if you do, should you eat anything before you go on a long run, or is after okay?
Again, it all depends on like the time of day you're running and if you've had a meal before that or if it's super early in the morning. I usually get really into running post-baby. So because it was, with my son, he was born in March, so I could throw him in the stroller, and those were some of my first workouts back. We'd just go on long runs. He'd be in the stroller. He was super content. And so I usually get back into running. Last year I ran a marathon right around this time in Haiti. And so it all depends on if I'm training for something. I know you're super into running right now, Sam.
I am.
And so, it all depends. Mine's like changes with my seasons, and again, it all depends on the length of the run. It depends on the time of day, so it like so depends. But I'll let you talk to this more because you are really into running right now.
Yeah, and I do a lot of my running in the morning, so again, can't have a ton in my system, but some of the electrolytes are super important to have. I know that when I'm training for the 10 mile, so I think that's kind of the perfect distance. But when I've done my half marathons, like I always have to have electrolyte blocks or something.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not somebody that can just like bring half a banana on a run with me. But the grapes, and then immediately after, I for sure just try and get something in because, you know, you're depleting your system. So you really want to make sure that you replenish that. So
yeah, it's a good calorie burning.
Yes. So we have somebody asking about kind of going back to working out in the morning and eating. What about people with thyroid issues who can't eat for about an hour after after they take their medicine, but they work out first thing? She saw Chris's video about burning fat versus muscle. So you don't want to not eat and burn muscle, but can you eat right after? Or like she can't eat an hour after having her medicine.
Right. Yeah. So that would be hypothyroid, right? You're hypo if you can't eat for the hour, because if you're hyper, you're on the other schedule. So hypo. So I'm no hypothyroid expert by any means, and I'd say you have to, if you talk to your endocrinologist about this too. That's your thyroid doctor. Talk to them specifically if there's a specific time of day or a specific time that they recommend that would be better for you to work out. Maybe you adjusting your workout schedule, but. I mean, there's no harm, especially if your medicine sits okay in your stomach without any food, and then going into activity. Like if you feel fine during your workouts, I would say then no harm, no shame. You do what you do, and it's your lifestyle, and it's what has to work for you, right? But if you aren't feeling well, if you're getting lightheaded or dizzy during your workouts or anything like that, then I'd say it's time to reevaluate.
We have a few more nutrition, and then we do have kind of quite a few of different form exercises that people are asking about. So we'll kind of finish up some of these nutrition ones unless they continue to roll in.
Okay.
But do you drink apple cider vinegar? And if you do, is there any harm in doing it at night as compared to the morning? I know a lot of people take it in the morning, and everyone says first thing in the morning. Is it as effective if you do it in the evening?
So I personally don't do the apple cider vinegar.
I don't either. I can't.
No, it just doesn't. I mean, it doesn't taste good for me, and I don't see a reason to, because I've gotten now to know my body really well. Like I originally did try it when I was struggling with bowel movements or constipation issues, and so it can definitely help jumpstart your metabolism, start get things moving, and clear things out, right? So I did try it during those times. I just don't enjoy taking a shot of apple cider vinegar right first thing when I wake up, and especially when I'm pregnant and like taking it with prenatals, no way. So I don't enjoy it, so I don't do it. I personally prefer. I have a recipe for it. It's like a lemon ginger turmeric detox tea on my blog that I really love and that I sip often, and that's what I go to if I am struggling with any type of like irregular digestive systems or things like that. I always go back to that tea, or even just a ginger tea, or even a little bit of warm lemon water are always good options too if you don't like the apple cider vinegar. But it is most effective on an empty stomach. That's the whole point of it, right? Is to take it on an empty stomach to start to get things moving. So I mean, that's when it is most effective. If you did it at night, I imagine there still are some benefits to it. I don't. To be completely honest, I don't entirely know, because I'm not the apple cider vinegar expert.
Yeah, and I don't do the apple cider vinegar either. I've tried the celery juice and have liked that.
Yeah.
Same thing with that. I do it in the morning. I don't know if it,
if it has, a lot of those, the benefits are doing it
empty
when your system's deprived, and it's like goes into your system, and it's one of the first forms of nourishment in the sense that your body's going to hang on to it and absorb it, right?
Yeah.
So same with the apple cider vinegar. It's like the first thing in your system. The celery juice, it's the first thing in your system.
Yep.
So.
If your weight loss is slow, how long can you go with carbs but still be healthy?
I think...
How low can you go?
Low,
Did I say that right?
How low can you go with carbs? I mean, carbs are like one of the first things people tend to cut out, and sometimes it kills me, because you need carbohydrates. Your body needs carbohydrates to operate. That's what gives you energy. I'm not going to lie. I was in those days, especially during fitness competition. I really cut carbs. I really cut those things out. Your body needs them. Like, it creates brain fog. If you don't have them, your body does need them, and they're important. And the bad part is women specifically have gotten so into this carb deficiency mindset that we've screwed up our bodies, and you have to reverse diet them back.
Yep.
And so you don't want to get to that place where you have to reverse diet, which means that you've depleted your body of carbohydrates for so long that any carbohydrate it does get, it holds onto and it clings onto. And so then your body becomes, more sensitive to carbs and then you have to reverse diet and slowly reintroduce them back in. You don't want to get there, because it's not a good place to be, and you need carbs. Like, I personally am a big fan. I'm a fan of healthy, complex carbs. Carbs are fruit. Those carbs are fruits. They come in the form of starchy veggies, like sweet potatoes and starchy veggies. And so, there's a lot of really good carbs out there. I'm a huge fan of carbs, and that's why I do struggle with a lot of the trending diets or things, because they often do cut down carbs. And I'm like, rolled oats sit really good with me, and they are awesome, and they have a lot of benefits, and so I eat them, yes. And so like doing Whole30, I'm always like, well, I'll do Whole30, but maybe with rolled oats. Like, I'm a big fan of carbs because I once cut them out of my diet, and it was a time when I was really deficient, and my body operates really well with carbs.
Yeah. I think switching the mindset of what carbs and healthy carbs are, you know? I think we got so into like carbs are, white bread or whatever.
Yes.
And switching that mindset to like, there's carbs in a banana. And like Chris always said, no one got fat,
right,
after eating a banana.
Yes.
So I always love when she says that.
Yes.
But really switching that mindset of, okay, what is a carb? And okay, I'm eating a sweet potato, that's okay.
Yes.
It's a healthy carb, so.
Yes. Yeah.
Should you take vitamins with or without food?
It depends on the type of vitamin. Certain vitamins. So I know that's like a terrible answer, but it does. Like, you have to start. You have research which vitamins. Like, for example, my son takes an iron supplement, and he can't take the iron at the same time as he's having dairy, because dairy. Your body does not absorb iron with dairy, but it absorbs it with calcium. So they're like, oh, take it, with like an orange juice or something like that, which isn't, that's kind of sugar loaded, but with some type of vitamin C that helps you absorb iron. So there's certain supplements that are meant to be taken with food and specific types of food, and there's certain supplements that are meant to be taken more on an empty stomach. And so it really depends on the type of vitamin. It really does.
We have someone saying that she does not like too many vegetables raw, so she usually gets about 3 servings of cooked veggies for dinner. Is it a big deal to go all day without veggies and then eat a ton, like load them for dinner?
My personal motto is veggies at every meal. So if you can strive to get veggies at every meal, you're doing really awesome. And I know it's harder to get cooked veggies throughout your day, but that's where meal planning and meal prep does come in. Because if you do have a sensitive stomach to raw veggies, veggies can be harder to digest and break down. They can cause people to be gassy. They can cause bloating. If you're not a huge raw veggie person, cooked veggies are an awesome way to go. But to avoid veggies all day and then cram them in at dinner is not a nutrition plan I would suggest. I would say strive for veggies at every meal, and that's because it balances out the pH in your system too. Yeah. So it keeps your pH really healthy and alkaline, your body alkaline. You want an alkaline body, and that comes from hydration. That comes from getting, like greens and getting a colorful diet. It really helps the pH. So I don't know how many healthy options you have throughout the day that are completely void of veggies, Yeah. So I don't know. It depends what your other meals look like, but no, I would say strive for veggies at every meal, and it might require a little bit more meal prep and meal planning on your part, but.
And if, especially for breakfast, like I know some people are like, how do you do veggies? Or like you think of it more as like a dinner lunch type thing.
Yes.
If you're a smoothie person, like I remember just tossing in a ton of spinach or, any type of those type of greens. Easy to get in smoothies, like you say, you put a ton in your egg cups. Like
yes,
they can be sprinkled in there. It doesn't need to be like the bulk of your meal, per se.
Like an egg bake, I actually would eat that more for lunch than I would for breakfast. But eggs are a great option, obviously for breakfast too. But egg bake is like a really easy way to just load with veggies. Yep. Or, leftovers from the night before. Make kebabs on the grill, and it's like. It's your meat.
Chop them up.
Yeah, and throw it on top of and have that on the side. Or rice, like a rice pilaf. So rice with a bunch of roasted veggies in it. Really easy way to have a on-the-go lunch.
We have a few people asking your thoughts and feelings about cleanses. Is it a really good way to detox your body to get back on track?
So I'm anti-cleanse because I lived for so many years in the phase of every Monday. You can ask my husband, he hated Mondays because I was probably a grouch. Like every Monday I would like detox or do like this juice cleanse. It was just an unhealthy mindset and an unhealthy lifestyle to maintain. So for me, I have a negative association with them, but I do think they do serve a point and a purpose, especially if you're trying to narrow down food allergies or if you're trying to zone in on something that might be affecting your digestive system. They're a really great way to kind of reset the system. And they do serve benefits and purposes if you're having GI tract or gut issues. So they definitely have a place and a purpose. I'm a little bit less likely to be on the detox cleanse train. I think that there's a way to do a detox with a food, with real food too, you know. So it all depends on what you're looking to quote unquote remove from your diet. But I think it's really easy for us to get in that mindset of like, okay, I'm gonna do a cleanse or a detox to get back on track. And so what that means is you end up usually going off the deep end, and then you know, to set yourself up. So I'm gonna have this last hurrah, and then I'm gonna have this, and that cleanse or detox is a short lasted time, right? So maybe it's a 3 to 7 day type of thing, and then you're back to your normal thing. And so it really wasn't beneficial in any way, shape, or form. I would say if you're looking for a healthier habit, choose one thing in your diet that currently may be a bad habit. So maybe it's soda. Maybe you're not drinking enough water. Maybe you have a sweet treat every night after dinner. Choose one thing, just one thing, and see if you can eliminate it or add it, if it's like water or whatever it is, for 30 days. Because if you can do it for 30 days, you can continue to do it, right? So if you're like, oh, but I have like 3 diet sodas a day, take out 1 diet soda. So go down to 2 diet soda, you know, like start slow, and that's where you're really gonna get the sticky and the results that you're probably looking for with a quick fix detox.
Lindsey, how do you handle sugar and processed food with Brody? As having, you know, a kid, how do you kind of handle all that?
Yeah. I think that's a great question because it's so prevalent and it's so everywhere, and I have to laugh because I think like my family kind of specifically like picks on me a little bit because they know I am more conscious of it. So they're like, does Brody want ice cream? And of course every kid gets excited about ice cream. And so, I mean, I tried to be, basically, we didn't introduce sugar or any type of processed food to him until at least his first birthday. So like his first birthday, you know, he did get to, he had like a frosting or whatever it was, but we really didn't introduce it. And I was pretty stickler about that. He does attend a daycare, and so I did work with the daycare, and we packed all of his own meals. I just wanted his first foods to be foods that I made and that we introduced, and continued that until just recently. Actually, they've revamped their whole meal plan at the daycare center, and it's becoming a lot better now. And so all snacks that they have to be under 6 grams of sugar, which is, so it's gotten so significantly better. And daycares are not that great, you guys. And it's tough because it's like a lot of extra work to pack meals. I know, I've been there. And it's one thing that we decided to cut off my to-do list as we prepare for baby number 2 is I'm not gonna pack meals anymore because the daycare meals have gotten a lot better. I still do pack his breakfast and certain things, or if I look at the meal plan and I don't totally agree with it, I will pack his lunch for that day. But it is hard, you know, fortunately my kid was exposed to a lot of foods early, and he is a pretty good eater. He eats like a beast. But he eats like a beast. But I mean, I try to be cognizant of it. It's just like me. I treat it like me. Like obviously, the thing that drives me crazy about like the daycare meal plans is that they are sugar heavy, and then it's like you expect a kid to sit in a circle and read a book after he just consumed 20 grams of sugar. Like that's just not reasonable. It's not reasonable for an adult either. No. You expect to have your afternoon energy after you just had a soda with 40 grams of sugar in it and you crash. Like it's just, you know, it's not reasonable. And so just thinking of it from a logical perspective. But yeah, we've brought him on board. He eats pretty much what we eat. Obviously, my whole, like, I guess the rule of thumb, or kind of to sum it all up, is I'd say if we're at a party or a social event and everyone's having a freezie, I don't go over and say, hey Brody, do you want a freezie? I wait until he comes up to me and says, can I have a freezie? And if he asks, then yeah, he can have a freezie. You know, it's like, but he's got to eat his dinner first, or have, you know, there's always, you know, like a rule that goes with it. But I don't offer it. I don't just go up to him and offer it to him. If he asks, like, yeah, if it's reasonable.
Good. Okay, heading into some of our like exercise, those type of questions. Is it better to do HIIT training by itself, or is it better to pair it with strength training at the end of the day?
So,
or at the end. So if you do strength training and then do like cardio after, or you know, is it better to just do it all at once?
So I mean, the workout programs that we have on Get Healthy UTV have a little bit of both in them, and so it's really, I mean, if you're looking at like max efficiency and calorie burn, I like to structure my HIIT classes, specifically the ones that I teach, where we do strength, we break it down like this: a lower body block of strength, an upper body block of strength, a total body block, and then we kind of do like a body weight burnout. Because when you are doing the body weight burnout at the end, so the whole point, so the workout, right, by the time you've gotten through 3/4 of your workout, you've burned through your glucose stores, which are your sugar stores, and then at the end of the workout, you're really getting into your fat stores. So when you are tired, and if you can really push it into a quick little hit, you're going to get that extra fat burn that you really are looking for. So strength training, heavy in the beginning, and then adding that hit cardio at the end is really efficient and really effective. That said, you can't do that every day of the week, or you got to mix it up. But that is really efficient and really effective for calorie burn if that's what you're looking for.
Awesome. A question about push-ups. She's saying that she can't go very far down, even when she's on her knees. So, is it better to go all the way down to the ground and push back up, or just go part of the way? She says that she's strong overall, but is not sure why she struggles so much with push-ups. And I'm the same way, so I'm interested to hear. I'm like really bad at push-ups.
Really?
But I feel like I should have the strength to do them.
Well, I was wondering, is there a specific reason you can't go? So I have a specific, my belly hits the ground, right? Like, is there a specific reason? Do you have shoulder impingement, or is there something dynamically that isn't allowing you the range of motion that you're looking for? Because if so, I would say obviously you need to heal that, or working on range of motion is really great. But if you're looking for deeper range of motion, I would suggest bringing it up. I know it sounds like the modified way or whatever, but an incline push-up, you guys, is so effective and efficient, especially for regaining mobility, that full range motion. Core strength is really important, obviously, when you're doing a push-up too, but bringing it up to a chair, to a tabletop. So I do these specifically when I am pregnant because my belly will hit the ground, right? But bringing it up to a chair or a tabletop to get that full range of motion, to tap the chest down and all the way back up, is a really great place to start. An incline push-up is an awesome way, so you can really feel that full range, because the whole point of a push-up, right, is it is strength, but the muscle tears happen when you do get that full range of motion. So if you're only going halfway down in a push-up, it's like doing half a bicep curl, or it's like doing right? So that full range of motion is really important, because the muscle tears are happening right down here, and then the push back up, right? So like that's where your muscle tears are happening, and that's how you build strength. So the full range, I would say, is really important.
Yeah. I think there's so many ways to scale that one and to really focus on that form. Because I even know, like, I don't know why, I was always taught elbows out, and then I had so many shoulder problems.
Right.
And so now for me, it's all the way in, and I appreciate now everyone kind of, like, I don't know whoever taught me that.
Yeah,
so bad for your shoulders.
I look back at some of the first workout videos I filmed. I think we were all kind of like in gym class. It was like, do a push-up. No one taught you how. Just do it. And you were like, well, it's easier if I do it this way, right?
Right. Until you get a little older, and you're like, okay, that starts to hurt.
Yeah. We got to talk to those gym teachers. Start teaching push-up form.
Any new ideas to keep up with workouts when you are on the go? So camping, specifically for her. She says it's a small indoor space. Dealing with heat, bugs, or steering neighbors can be a challenge. So what are your go-tos for that?
Yes, I have gotten over the staring neighbor thing really fast. You just have to. And it's funny because even, now it's part of my job. So I'm like, hey, will you film this quick workout here, like in this park for Instagram? And my husband's like, really? But there's people around. And I'm like, it doesn't make me uncomfortable. Does it make you uncomfortable? Like, we're in California on the big public beach. And I'm like, okay, film this work. And I'm like out there, and he's like, this is so awkward. I've gotten over it because it's part of what I do. But if you are, I totally get like the being self-conscious about it. But I whip out my workouts right at the park, right in front of all the other moms, because I'm just like, listen, this is how I get it in. So you can join me if you want. Get on over here. But so that's something I've gotten over. But at traveling workouts, I'm all about on-the-go workouts, and even I'd say it doesn't, again, we've gotten into that, it's got to be an hour. It doesn't have to be an hour. It can be 15 minutes, especially because when you're traveling, you're usually more active. If you're camping, you're probably going on a bike ride. You're probably walking to and from a lot of places, stuff like that. So especially if you have kids, so you're on the run. So, or you're canoeing or doing whatever you're doing. So it doesn't have to be this like super, have to be a structured 30-minute workout. Mm-hmm. I also love resistance bands for traveling.
Yes,
they're so easy to pack, and they offer that strength training component, and those little mini bands add so much fire and intensity to that lower body. So, and low impact. So if you are like in a camper and you want to stay in the camper, adding resistance bands to squats instead of doing squat jumps, but like squats with a leg lift or something, it adds that intensity where you can add the impact if you want to keep it low impact.
Yeah. I think too, the one thing that I did when I traveled to Korea, I brought the bands, but doing even just like a kickboxing to get that heart rate up.
Yes.
I mean, if you're in a small area, though, it's a great way to get your heart rate up, quickly.
Yes.
And if you don't have a lot of room, you're not, running and jumping from side to side. So kickboxing kicks your butt.
Yes, and we have lots of great bodyweight workouts on Get Healthy UTV. But I do always say my personal favorite way to explore a new city, if you are traveling, the best way to explore a city is to run it, to train it.
Yeah.
So when and then maybe you're not even a runner and you're like, yeah, but I don't really run that much. Literally you can power walk or run even half a mile, find a bench, find a park bench, find monkey bars, find a playground. Like there's so much you can do, and if you get up early and you're an early riser, you beat the crowd, so no one's gonna be at the park yet. So at 6 a.m. you can still do box jumps on the steps at the park, right?
And then no one's watching.
Right, or find a staircase. Like the best way to explore a new city is to train it.
Yeah, those are awesome. Is there a difference between the hammer bicep curl and regular bicep curls?
Yes, the bicep is a two-headed muscle, right? So it's a two-headed muscle, and you work the different heads. So when palms are up, and you're coming up a standard curl, so the muscle building actually happens in the eccentric motion, the way down. So a lot of times we get those weights up and let them drop. It's actually up, slow and steady on the way down. That's where your muscle building happens. You're working one head of the bicep. When you turn that palm in, you're getting a different angle working the other head of the bicep. So it's a two-headed muscle. So yeah, there is a difference.
Whenever she tries to work on her core, she gets some low back pain. Does that mean she's doing it incorrectly, or is she actually strengthening the low back muscles?
It could be a combination of both. It could be a combination of both. Depends on the exercise. Like if your low back hurts from planking, you're probably doing it incorrectly, and you probably need to continue to work on your form and your posture. Versus if your low back hurts from doing Supermans, it means, you're engaging the muscles, and your muscles might be a little sore, and that's just a sign of training, right? Like you have to build up the muscles and strength train them, and they get sore. So it all depends on the type of core you're doing. That said, I would say if you are having low back pain, core is something you probably do need to strengthen. Specifically in women, the core, chest, and triceps are commonly the most undertrained and most weak muscles, and so we have a lot of great core workouts.
Yeah, we do.
In this the 28-day reboot or routine reboot.
Say that 10 times fast.
Say that. Those 10-minute workout videos in that 28-day routine reboot, we have a lot of great core workouts. Those free 10-minute videos, there's a lot of great core workouts. Kate has a diastasis recti, so if you're a mom recovering from DR where the ab separation, there's videos on that. There's all low impact, there's all mat, there's all standing core. We have core off the floor, and we have core on the floor. So whatever you're comfortable with, there are a lot of great options.
Yeah, there's great options. And people often forget too that the back is part of the core. It all kind of wraps around. So we do need to train the back, you know, to keep the core nice and engaged too. So Superman's those are killer.
Yes.
Using that low back, and you don't have to move very far. It's those smaller ranges of motion, but they really get deep in there.
Yeah, your back extensors. I know even after we filmed the Bar Strong program, Chris was like, my back. And I'm like, it's because you don't use all those small stabilizers when you're doing the standard bigger range motion squats. Your core's engaged, but in a different way than when you're balancing on one leg.
Right. When doing planks on your elbows, should the arms be in a straight 90 degrees under your shoulders or in a triangle with your hands clasped? So should it be kind of separate, or I've actually heard different, so.
Yeah, I mean, a true, they are kind of different, but a true Sphinx, it would be where they're directly underneath and your palms are flat on the ground, and I would say that's the true proper way. It's just become natural habit, right? You slowly, it's if I clasp my knuckles together, it'll get easier, right? Because my focus is now on my white knuckles versus how tired my stomach is and how tired my quads are and my butt's on fire because everything is squeezed and tight and engaged. But a true Sphinx, a true low plank would be where your shoulders are directly over your elbows, your palms are flat on the ground and straight out.
Yep. We have somebody that was diagnosed with breast cancer in May of 2018. Now that her treatments are done, she's trying to get back to her healthy state. What suggestions and exercises would you recommend? How does she kind of get back on track or even start?
I have to say, I'm truly amazed by the number of people who comment in the Get Healthy UTV members page who are battling something, whether it's cancer or something, and they're like, well, I'm still doing my workouts, I'm working out. Or people have message and say, I do the Get Healthy UTV workouts at home because I can't go to the gym because I'm on chemo, and it's there's too many germs and too many infection issues, and I'm just are you serious? Like, you guys are freaking rock stars. So first of all, to all you people who are doing this amidst crazy diagnoses, like, congratulations, and wow, you're you're incredible and inspiring to us all. So the fact that you're wanting to start up a program, I hope that you are hoping to be able to say you're cancer-free very soon. It sounds like you're doing well, so that is really good. Obviously, we have to say consult your doctor and make sure you're cleared for exercise, and that's a good start and a good program, but a great place to start. The Get Healthy UTV, there are a lot of beginner calendars. This 28-day reboot is a really great place to start because it's 10-minute workouts. Like, 10-minute workouts are easy to bite off and easy for everybody to chew on, and they're all free. Get Healthy UTV has a whole landing page full of 10-minute workouts, and the 28-day reboot puts them into a calendar and tells you exactly what to do, because I know you guys love that. So the 28-day reboot is a really great, it's called the reboot, right, for a reason. That's a great place to start. The beginner workouts, the walking programs, do not underestimate the walking programs. The walking and toning or the walking and sculpting programs on Get Healthy UTV are a really great place to start as well. And then slowly starting to mix in that strength training. Strength training is really important, and it can be all, there's the lift program, the low impact, there's just the strictly strength, there's the serious strength. All those that are just low impact strength, those are all really great places to start, and then you just have a goal of progressing your weights.
And just really knowing your body. I mean, it's absolutely incredible, like hopping back in. So just really reading your body. And I mean, again, those 10-minute workouts are great to start with. And then, you know, if you feel really good, then maybe add that 20 minutes next time. But don't, I would say, not push it too hard right away.
It's a slow progression. And I'll be with you soon in about a couple months when I'm coming back from baby.
Okay, what are some not running options for a good heart pumping cardio?
Ooh, well, you already touched on one. Cardio kickboxing. Chris is like got some awesome kickboxing workouts, and I don't know if I can share this, but I know that later this winter there's a new cardio kickboxing program launching that we filmed when I was 18 weeks pregnant, and let me tell you, my heart rate was through the roof. It was a good one. So there's a new one coming to Get Healthy UTV. I don't know if I was supposed to share that or not, so sorry, Chris.
So it's out there.
It's out there. There's a new one coming. And the cardio kickboxing, those bodyweight workouts, I love them. It's like when you need a good sweat and you're sore and tired from the week and you don't want to pick up weights, cardio kickboxing, great way to raise your heart rate. We do have some low impact ways too. There's the low impact workouts that are body weight that are a great way to raise your heart rate. Strength training is a really great way to raise your heart rate. We just filmed the new 40. I know I filmed a 40, 30, 20 workout that was low impact. Ooh. And if your heart rate does not get up during that, man, whew. It really, So there's like so many great ways. Strength training, going for those heavy weights, and then, you know, moving at a faster pace. Cardio kickboxing, no running. There's a lot of great ways to get your heart rate up without running.
Yeah. Just a few minutes left, so we'll try and hit as many of these we can. And if we don't hit your questions, we'll kind of comment back here a little bit later. So there's just so many great questions today.
Yeah, this is fun.
Could you recommend a good mini band? She has a fabric one that's so tight she can barely move it. So any other options?
Yeah, so I do like the fabric mini bands but they are harder, right? But the rubber mini bands, a lot of people say that they slip or roll up, and I'll be honest, if you're using the rubber mini band appropriately, that shouldn't be happening, right? It shouldn't be slipping or rolling up. I know that guys will complain because like it hurts their leg hairs if you don't, but girls, if you're wearing leggings, the mini band that's rubber is super cheap on Amazon, and it shouldn't hurt or roll up or if you're using it appropriately. But the mini band should never be on your knees. It should always be below or above your knees. And the rubber mini band has a lot more versatility for upper body. So you can like have it on your foot and do a row with it. You can do a lot more, versus the fabric mini bands don't have as much give, and so they really are lower body focused, the fabric ones are. So I do tend to lean a little bit more towards the rubber bands for like total body stuff. I do like the fabric ones, but yeah, you gotta find one that obviously fits in your strength range because they all come. That's why whenever I order a mini band pack, I always try to go for the variety pack because I'll use, you know, the green band, a lighter band for like high reps or for something, and then I'll go for like the red or blue band that's heavier for different exercises. So a variety pack of mini bands is the best way to go. But they're like under $10 on Amazon. Yeah,
they're super cheap, and the versatility is just awesome for those. Thoughts on using kettlebells for strength training?
Oh, I love kettlebells. Especially I forgot to mention kettlebells. The person who had said, how can I get my heart rate up without running? Kettlebell cardio workout. Have you done that one on Get Healthy UTV, the kettlebell cardio workout? That's a way to get your heart rate up without running. So yes, kettlebells are awesome for strength training. Another fun way to mix it up, a new piece of equipment. There's so much you can do with that one piece of equipment. I love it during pregnancy too because it is low impact, often a low impact way. Kettlebell swings are strength and cardio and power all in one. And if you are a runner, kettlebells are probably one of the best ways to cross train because kettlebells usually tend to focus on your power generating muscles, your hips, your glutes.
I love the kettlebell. You just have to really make sure you watch the form.
Exactly. So kettlebell swings are like, you got to master that form.
Got to master them. All right, so we have about 2 minutes left, and somebody is just wanting you to quickly kind of talk over your new bar workouts. They're excited to get after them, but kind of want to hear about them.
So you can check it out. There's previews of them all on Get Healthy UTV. So if you scroll down to go to programs, scroll all the way down, it'll be the new Bar Strong program. At the very bottom, you click on it. There's 4 workout videos. One's an overview preview video, and then there's the 4 workouts, right? And so you get a quick snippet of each. Like I said, there's a total body sculpt and shred that uses weights. We also have a chair, so like a chair, light weights. And then some of them do use the mini band, so the mini bands that we were just talking about, you could always do it without a mini band. And some of them also use a Pilates sponge ball, which you could also use a kid's toy squishy ball that you have at home. I really do like the Pilates sponge ball, especially if you are postpartum recovering. It's one of the great ways to rebuild the pelvic floor. So if you want a more of a pelvic floor focus, they are a great little investment. I think, again, they're under $10 on Amazon. But there's a total body sculpt and shred. There's a body weight one, so you need no equipment, a body weight bar hit. It's going to get your heart rate up. And then there's arms and abs, and then there's lower body focus. So there's 4 programs. They range from 25 minutes to 35 minutes, and they are awesome little circuit workouts.
All right, well, it is 2 o'clock on the dot, so we are finished here. We'll get to your questions if we haven't gotten to them, but that's it.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us, and thank you for all the awesome questions. Like Sam said, if we didn't get to them, continue to check out the Facebook page where this video is posted. In the description, again, is that link you're going to want to the 28-day routine reboot. So you can click that, pop your email address in there, and you can get the calendar, and you're going to get fun trainer tips and tricks. So if you like these Q&A sessions, it's like that landing in your inbox on a weekly basis. So that's what that is. So that's lots of fun. So sign up for that 28-day routine reboot. You don't have to be a Get Healthy UTV member to access the 10-minute free videos. And we'll be back probably next month with another Q&A session,
we will
right?
Yep, so, at the end of the month.
Good. All right, you guys, have an awesome rest of your day.